board to meet, and we need to get, can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda for the August 18th meeting?
I so move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then can we get an approval of the minutes from the July 21st meeting of the Sex Offender Residency Board?
I will move. So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The first regular business that we have is the appeal of Jakari Miles requesting to move to 1061 Clayton Place. Jakari, are you on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to be asking you some questions. It appears this is your first time before the board, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when we're gonna ask you the circumstances surrounding your arrest, we ask that you refer, don't refer to the victim as a name or a relationship. And then we'll have an opportunity to discuss any treatment. You have the opportunity to do that in closed or public session. Would you like to make that decision right now?
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to do, closed or public?
In public, I guess.
Okay, all right. So you are currently living at 1761 Shawano Avenue, requesting to move to 1061 Clayton Place, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and can you tell us what you were arrested for and how it all came about?
I was arrested for exposition of child pornography by person under 18. How the charges came about. Mel down in Winnebago County, she sent me some nude photos of her, and I posted the nude photos on Facebook. This happened in 28. So that's how I came about the charges. I got charged when I was 17 years old.
Did you know the girl?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and why would you post them on Facebook?
It was just a childish, immature thing of me to do. I really can't explain it to this day. I was just young at the time and just didn't know no better.
Okay. So then how did you get arrested for that?
I had a warrant out for my arrest, but I never knew I had the warrant out for my arrest until I got arrested for another case, and then that's when I found out I had the warrant out for my arrest. But I never knew I had the warrant out for my arrest until 2019 when I got locked a year later.
So you don't know how the police got involved?
No, ma'am. I'm pretty sure the victim, her mother called the police, if I'm not mistaken, down in Winnebago.
Okay. And what were you sentenced to on that?
I was sentenced to 18 months of probation.
Okay. Any of the board members have any questions regarding his case?
Would he have been required to have treatment?
Let's see. According to a conviction, it just says counseling as deemed appropriate. We can talk about his treatment. Mr. Miles, have you had any kind of sex offender treatment?
No, ma'am. I just got out of prison back in June 29th. and all the programs was shut down due to COVID. So couldn't nobody get into programs at the time that I was incarcerated.
And were you actually serving a prison sentence for the substantial battery or the armed robbery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I see Commander Abel is on here. I'm not sure, do you have access to his Winnebago case if what he's telling us is accurate?
I have access to the criminal complaint from Winnebago County, and he is actually accurate in his description of his crime.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does any of the board members have any questions for him? Okay, Mr. Miles, are you working anywhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where are you working?
I work at Bone Works.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Bone Works.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working there since I got out of prison about a month and a half.
And it looks like you're going to be living with your mother, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is your mother here to talk on your behalf at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi, could you just state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Jamila Walker. My address is 1061 Clayton Place, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay. Obviously, you're aware what your son did and that he has to register as a sex offender, and you're all right with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do your neighbors know about this?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're okay?
Yes, ma'am. The two on the one on the left and one on the right, they're very aware. They're very involved in Jakari, cuts their grass and things, so they do know what's going on and they understand.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any board members?
I'd like to ask Jakari's mom, how do you see this working, or how do you support that he should live with you? How do you feel about it?
I know Jakari since he's gotten into the trouble he's gotten in as a teenager, and him sitting in jail, the time he sat in jail, I see a lot of growth in him. I see change in him. I see him trying to change and do things for the better, help out around the community. He's been helping me and doing a little odds and end work for my neighbors. So I do see him growing, and a lot of things he did was, I think, just him being an adolescent and being a child. Sitting in jail, I can really say helped him a whole lot. As far as growth, he been working and he makes sure he don't miss work, and he's just been doing things that an adult should do without me telling him, because when he did go to jail, he was still a child, and now he's an adult. So it's like I see that change, that I don't have to drill him, stay on him about things that he know he needs to do. He just does it.
Jakari, do you have a high school diploma?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else from the board members?
Yes, I have a question. Jakari, do you have any good male influences around you?
Yes, sir. I actually work with a mentor. I'm pretty sure you heard of him. I'll go to My Brother's Keeper. I go to Harry Sydney.
Yes.
Okay, before I entertain anybody asking for if they want to make a motion to approve or deny this address, I guess I just would like to say My opinion is, I understand that he hasn't had treatment. It wasn't court ordered according to the JOC. It was only counseling as deemed necessary. He got 18 months probation out of it. Typically, I do not approve people from out of county because I feel that we have enough of our own inmates or population that need housing here. However, because he has the other cases out of Brown County that I'm sure he's on probation for, I would be okay with allowing him to, stay at this address, 1061 Clayton Street. That's just my opinion. Anybody else have a thought? Does anyone want to make a motion to approve or deny?
I would make a motion to approve address specific to 1 Clayton Place.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mr. Miles, you've been approved to reside at 1061 Clayton Place. Where would you like us to send that letter?
You could send it to 1061 Clayton Place.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is the appeal of Miles Whitman requesting to move to 531 South Van Buren. Mr. Whitman, are you present?
He's on here, he just needs to unmute.
Okay. Mr. Whitman?
Mr. Whitman, you need to unmute your phone, please.
He's working on it, I'm with him.
Okay.
No, didn't work. You see your phone. No.
It shows a speaker on the smartphone, but that's about it.
We're working on it.
Is he able to just join you on your screen?
I'm here.
Is it coming through?
You are, yes. Well, he is too, so we can hear
Well, he
him.
does, he's not supposed to be on the internet, but he could speak through my phone. He doesn't really have, the speaker will pick up. Is that okay, Miles? Just,
I'm here.
Okay. So, Mr. Whitman, as you heard earlier, we're gonna ask you, about what you were convicted of. When you talk about the victim, we just ask that you don't indicate the name or the relationship of the victim. And then you'll have the opportunity to talk about treatment. Would you like to do that in closed or public session?
Public.
Okay. So, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you were convicted of?
I was convicted of child pornography.
Okay, and what happened? What were you doing?
I downloaded 2 pictures online on my phone.
Okay. And how did you get caught?
Google, at the time, Google informed the law enforcement of what I was doing.
Okay. And were you on a particular site and then all of a sudden you saw these images, or were you searching for these images?
I was searching for the images.
Okay. And how old were the, children in the pictures?
8 years old.
And why were you searching for it?
At the time, I wasn't on any medication, and I was depressed, so I was just searching.
Commander Evil, is that correct?
Huh?
Sorry, I'm asking the
Oh,
police department if that's correct.
As far as the Google, information is correct, that is correct. He did in the criminal complaint, and during his interview, said that he may have, approximately 30 images of young girls that he had sent. But, that was not found according to the criminal complaint. Or it's not listed in the criminal complaint.
So he admitted that he had sent 30 pictures, but Google couldn't find them?
It's not listed in the criminal complaint whether or not the investigators were able to locate those images. He's actually correct in that the images were flagged by Google, and a cyber tip was sent to, the Brown County Sheriff's Department, or Pulaski Police Department, where the IP address came back to.
Okay. And so, Mr. Whitman, how much time did you get for that?
I got 9 months altogether, because I spent 2 years in county jail.
Okay. But you really were sentenced to 3 years, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you get out of prison?
April 16th, 2019.
Is it because you had so much time served?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where have you been residing since 2019?
I used to live in Wood County, Wisconsin Rapids area, and I moved back to Green Bay. And now I'm living at the 1761 Toronto Avenue.
Is that the TLP?
Yes, ma'am.
So your agent allowed you to transfer from Wood County, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, even without having, a secure residence? Meaning she was okay, like, what happens if we don't approve you? How long did you just stay at the TLP?
It's usually 2 months.
Okay, so if we wouldn't approve you, then do you have to go back to Wood County?
I'm not sure, because I haven't talked to my old agent at the time,
Okay.
since I got transferred.
Okay.
So where did your crime take place?
Brown County.
But you were arrested in jail in Wood County?
I was there in the Wood County jail for 2 months, and then they transferred me back here, and then I went to Dodge until March of this year.
So how long were you actually in prison?
The second time I was there for a year.
And explain the first time.
The first time I was there 9 months.
So was this the only offense?
It was, yes.
It seems to me unusual, that order. Where did you, so you started at Dodge? Or you started in jail and then went to Dodge?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna gather that you had a pretty high cash bond, that's why you sat that much time in jail before going to prison?
Yes, ma'am, I had a $10,000 cash bond.
I'm sorry, did you say we can talk about your treatment in public? Or did you want that in private?
I can talk about it in public.
Okay, so it looks like, you're currently receiving, some kind of a treatment right now, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's that through?
That's through Marshall Kirkpatrick and Associates.
Okay. And what kind of treatment are you getting right now?
The SO4 treatment.
Okay, is this your first time receiving treatment?
No, ma'am, it's my second time. I failed the first time, and this is my second treatment.
When was the first time that you took your treatment?
In Wood County.
And who did you do that through down there?
I can't remember the name offhand.
And what time frame was it that you did the treatment down there?
The time I got out till 2020.
Okay. And why did you fail?
I kept missing meetings and wasn't doing my homework and wasn't honest with the facilitator about my crime, and so they failed me on that.
And then you started treatment here,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? And how long have you been going there?
Since April 29th, 2021.
And have you missed any classes?
No, ma'am. We just started in person. It was over the phone, now it's in person.
Okay, did you miss any over the phone session?
No.
So tell us what you're learning in treatment right now.
They have me doing something new. It's a lot easier for me. I have to do the daily journal and explain and follow what it says in the daily journal. Like if I'm glad, sad, angry, fear, and then, what my fantasies are and everything like that.
And then you share that with the group, or you just share that with your counselor?
I share that with the whole group.
Have you learned, why you did what you did?
I did, yes.
Okay. And why was that?
I was like, I knew it was wrong and I shouldn't have done it, and I feel remorse about it.
But why did you do it?
I wasn't on any medication at the time.
And what do you take medications for?
depression, anger, and anxiety.
And you've been taking those?
Yes, ma'am.
What's to stop you from not taking your meds anymore?
If I don't have the money to pay for them, I would have to figure out a way to get it.
Are you working that you would be able to buy your medications?
I'm on disability.
And do you have enough each month to pay for rent and your medications?
I do, yes.
Okay. So by not having money isn't the reason why you would stop taking your meds then?
No.
Anybody have, go ahead, Faye.
The address you wish to move to, is it like an apartment, is it a house, what is it?
It's a 4-apartment building. And the apartment I'm requesting is upstairs.
Is it like a 1-bedroom, a studio, or?
It's a 1-bedroom.
Do you have some people that will support you?
I have Roy from Circles of Support and Chris from the Sex Offender Treatment SO4 group with me.
Do they want to speak on your behalf right now?
They do, yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi. If you can just state your name and address for the record, please.
Roy D. Ryder, address 1079 Butternut Lane, Hobart, Wisconsin.
Okay, what would you like to say about Mr. Whitman?
Since he's joined Circles, he's attended group. I think he missed once and that was it. But he's been there ever since he started attending. And that's been over 2 months now. He's cooperative in group, shares, talks about his issues.
Do you do anything with him outside of group?
Well, I helped him find his apartment. We went and looked at it together. He needed a ride, so I gave him a ride for that. Outside of that, I haven't done anything like go for a meal or anything, but I do that on occasion with different people that are a member of Circles, and that may happen someday.
Okay. All right.
And what is your role in Circles of Support?
I'm a volunteer. We have a weekly meeting. Our members come in and talk about their week, what's happening. We listen. Usually there's other members there that share advice. We ask them for a goal for the week. What's their goal this week? You know, just a place for them to come and, talk about things, get it off their chest.
Anyone else have any questions for Roy?
Yeah, I'd like to know what kind of training he had.
Well, initially 6 years ago when I joined, we were associated with Goodwill, and they had training programs for us, and there'd be ongoing training, and we'd get invited to seminars. We'd go attend seminars. I attended a NAMI seminar down in Appleton a couple different times when that was going on before COVID, because Circles was based in Appleton. But I have no formal training, I'm not a counselor or anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, was there somebody else that wanted to speak on his behalf? With you?
Yes,
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, if you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
Chris Oldman, 1969 Eastman Ave, apartment 5.
Okay, and how do you know Miles?
He is in my group. I'm in the same sex offender group as he is.
And what do you know about him?
When he first came to the group, he was kind of like everybody is. He's nervous and don't want to talk or say anything. But he, like he said, he hasn't missed any days. He's been on the phone with us, and then now we've been in person probably about 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. And he has, how do I say this, a different kind of a homework than everybody else because of his disability and stuff. So I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm kind of interested in it, and I've even talked to to the counselor, Fitzpatrick, and to try to, maybe learn his way of learning how to do it too, because that might be helpful in my own stuff. But he's been doing good. He's, like you said, he's there on time. He's sharing his homework and stuff. He's talking about his feelings, and he has that journal, so he presents that to everybody and shows what he's feeling and stuff. And he's even reached out to other members when he has urges about feeling about kids or anything, and he's talked to people, and he's actually shown that he does stuff instead of just sitting there instead of whatever he used to do. So now he's reaching out to people, contacting them, and getting a hold of people and doing the right thing.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have questions for him? Mr. Whitman, had you ever done this before, and this was just the first time you ever got caught?
This is the first time I've been caught. So,
How many times had you done this, looking at porn before?
2011,
And you did that on the internet also?
yes.
And was that children also?
It was,
Right. What are you on disability for?
I was born premature, and they put me on disability when I was an infant.
All right. Does the board have any other questions or any comments they would like to make?
A thought I have is maybe putting him on 90 days and then having him check back. He hasn't been in treatment that long or out that long to make sure everything's going well.
I guess I wouldn't have a problem with something like that. He does say that, what he did was wrong, and he does have the remorse for it. It sounds like he is taking his treatment serious this time around, but you're right, he's only been in it for a couple months, let alone only a short time in person. So I could see that. Anybody else? Is there anybody that would like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion
All right, Peter.
to revisit 90 days.
But would you approve it for 90 days? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Address specific,
Yes.
okay? So we have a motion to approve Mr. Whitman for 90 days, address specific. And then, Peter, is there anything you'd like him to do when he comes back?
If you just, could bring back, people that he's working with, or possibly some documentation to verify that he has been going to the meetings and doing all his homework.
Okay. Is there a second for that motion?
I will second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mr. Whitman, you've been approved to reside at 531 South Van Buren for 90 days. And then, you will need to come back, to that meeting and provide us some documentation of your treatment. And, if you're, working with anybody, if they could speak on your behalf.
Okay,
All right?
yep, thank you.
Yes, where would you like us to mail that letter?
1761 Channel Avenue, 16B.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next on the agenda is the appeal of Jared Cole requesting to move to 521 South Oakland. Mr. Cole, you're present? Mr. Cole?
He's here, we just need him to unmute.
Yeah, I see that. There we go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
And Rachel,
Yeah.
it looks like Renee's here now.
Yeah,
Ma'am, I
okay.
have been here, I cannot get into the agenda on, so I can't log in, but I've been listening, but I didn't wanna go in the middle.
Okay. All right. Mr. Cole, so again, we're gonna ask you to, give us the circumstances surrounding your arrest and, what you were charged with. We do want you to speak of the victim by name or relationship. And then again, you'll have the opportunity to talk about your treatment. Would you like that in closed or public session?
About it in public.
Okay, so why don't we start with what you were convicted of and what happened?
I was charged with second-degree sexual assault of a child. When I was 24, this girl who I won't talk about in a relationship, I'm sorry, was underage, came over, and when things were rough, she would smoke to calm down and whatnot, and we were both under the influence at the time, and we weren't really thinking when we had ended up fooling around. She only came around like 3 times, but there was never any other girl that had come over. I believe it has caused her great mental stress and harm, and I do believe that it is completely my fault. I definitely should have taken a different course of action rather than having helped her delinquency.
Okay, so, when you say fool around, what exactly did you do?
It was a mutual intercourse, but we didn't actually have sex. I ended up masturbating her, and she ended up jerking me off.
And you said that only occurred on 3 occasions?
2 occasions. She came around 3 times. She came around 3 times, but nothing happened the first night.
And she was how old?
14.
And you were 24. You knew she was 14 years old?
I did.
So why would you think that it's okay to do something like that?
I was under the influence. I did not think it was okay.
And when you say smoking and under the influence, are we talking marijuana or drinking?
Marijuana.
Okay.
When you said she came around, like, did she live in the neighborhood or did she know someone in your house? How did that happen?
She knew somebody else in the household.
And was that person present?
They were not present, no.
Was it a child or an adult that she knew?
It was an adult. They knew each other through horseback riding.
And the other parties that lived with you didn't know that this was occurring between you and her?
No.
How did the police get involved?
She ended up going to her counselor because she caught an SPD from somebody else in school, and she had told about, or she talked about 4 other relationships she had as well.
Commander Evil, is that accurate information?
Yes, what he said is accurate. He was cooperative according to the criminal complaint and admitted to his relationship with the victim.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any question regarding his offense?
Yes, I have a question. Jared, what would keep you from doing this again?
I do not wish to be put back in or be incarcerated ever again. This is a very meaningful lesson, and I am not prepared to ever have that happen again.
Do you have any support people around you?
I have my girlfriend who lives in Seymour, but she works way too often. She's not able to be here with us, but I also have my grandmother here on the phone.
Do you have any male support?
As far as male support, I would say my boss. But he's not currently with us either. He works too much as well.
Okay, thank you.
So Jared, have you gone through any kind of treatment?
I have not gone through any kind of treatment. I'm currently going to be evaluated tomorrow at 11 for SOT 2. It's going to be over the phone, and the reason that I haven't taken treatment was because of the COVID during my incarceration.
Okay.
When were you released?
I was released on May 11th of this year, 2021.
And you've been residing at the TLP that entire time?
Ever since, yeah.
Any comments or questions from the board?
And for me, I can't see it, so I don't.
Oh.
Are you residing alone?
Yes, I'm residing alone.
So right now, do you have, you're not in treatment, are you in any support groups or something like that?
I'm in no support groups or no counseling or any kind of treatment currently at this moment.
So I'm just gonna give you, my opinion here. You know, typically we require people to have treatment, at least to see how they're doing. I understand that they didn't offer treatment while you were in custody because of COVID. You have been out for a couple months. I don't know why it's taken so long for you to get the assessment. But I am a tad bit, not nervous, but I mean, I would prefer that you would have some treatment before we would go ahead and just let you loose in the community. I mean, I do appreciate your honesty about what came about, how everything happened. It sounds that you're somewhat sincere that this was your first arrest and you took it pretty serious. And so that's kind of where I am kind of standing right now. I'm not really quite sure about letting you to stay at this address at this moment.
Okay.
How does the board feel?
Yeah, I would like to see him back after his evaluation and see what his evaluation is, what they suggest, and go from there. For me.
That's how I feel also.
Was there anyone who wanted to speak either for or against Mr. Cole?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I see there's a Donna up there waving. Okay, Donna, if you can just unmute, and then if you want to state your name and address for the record, please. Oh. I'm not sure what's going
You
on.
might wanna,
Anybody know why that's happening?
you might wanna leave and come back in.
Jared, is that your mom or your grandma?
That's my grandmother.
Oh, are you right next to her?
No,
Oh,
that's my mom.
oh. Is there a way for you to communicate to them what's going on?
Hold on one second.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes?
Much better.
Okay, I'm on my iPhone too. If one doesn't work, I'm ready for another. Yes, I'm grandma. Jared has lived with me a couple of times. I have been his support system through all of this, and we have talked and texted every single day for 2 years, including now that he's out. I feel that he will never do this again. He's very remorseful. We had talked about it. He was not raised this way at all. He's had a good upbringing. And I feel very confident, and I'll swear to it, that if he is released into the community, he can be trusted. I've had lengthy conversations with him. My sister that passed away 4 months ago, was a drug and alcohol abuse counselor. He has counseled with her. She was also a former judge. And so we've had support that way. My name is Donna Cole. I live at 9458 Madison Ave, Brereton, New York. I'm upstate near Canada. And so the area we live in, I have a raised ranch. And again, he's lived here. I help him get on his feet, get a driver's license, get a job with U-Haul, kind of was there for the whole thing. He wanted to move to Wisconsin. Then he got transferred out there. He became general manager of the whole hub for over a year, 2 years. Now, since he's been released May 11th, he's kept his nose clean. He got a job in 3 weeks. He would call me and he'd be walking and I'd say, Green Bay's beautiful, I'll be there. And so in 3 weeks, he got a job at the car wash. and he recently got a promotion as,
Assistant manager.
well, it's assistant manager, quality control of the front end. He's also bought a car. He used his stocks from U-Haul, and he bought a 2007 Mazda. He got a phone, and he's also put a deposit down on an apartment, which they approved him for because he's been trying to do this for months. And he finally was able to get approved with a deposit. I've also helped supported him financially as well. So when this all happened, well, I'll tell you, I took a second mortgage out on my home and paid for his lawyer because I had that much faith in him that he would pull through. So I will vouch for him anytime. And there again, you know, I've given him a faith and just helped him over these past couple of years. And I know that he will not ever be a repeat offender. I know that from the bottom of my heart. I know him inside out and backwards. So that's what I want to tell you. And he's not a harm to anyone, you know. And he would really like to develop this relationship with his girlfriend that he's known for a couple of years now. You know, they would like to move forward with their lives together and build a life. And I do plan on coming out and visiting him. With the COVID, I just don't know when that would be, you know. And I know that his evaluation will be fine, totally fine. So his mom is here, if you'd like to hear from her as well.
Yes, does she want to speak on his behalf?
My mom pretty much said it all. I will tell you that he is my firstborn child, and he's just a very responsible person. I know that this thing that happened, that occurred, was completely just blown away. It's not, you couldn't believe it. We're like, this isn't Jared, this isn't who he is. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, he did smoke some pot. He was under the influence, and that's what happened. And he's, you know, I feel that he has, you know, he's really, really, truly, and it's definitely, you know, changed. How should I put it? It's just not him. I don't know what else to say other than the fact that I love my son. I will always have faith in my son. I will love him unconditionally no matter what. And I know, like she said, he is not a harm to anyone at all. That is not who Jared is.
I'm sorry, could you just state your name for the record?
Sure. It's Carrie, Carey, Cole, Cole.
Okay. And then we need the addresses.
I live the same address. The 90.
Grandma?
Yes, 9458 Madison Ave. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jared does have two younger brothers as well. He has a 22-year-old brother, and he has a 6-year-old brother.
Okay. All right. Does the board have any questions for either one of them? Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion or have discussion?
I have one more question for Jared.
Go ahead, Peter.
Do you still smoke pot or plan on it?
I do not smoke pot anymore because it has caused so much paranoia and anxiety in my life, and I'm done with doing anything delinquent. I just want to stay on the right path, build my career, and work on getting my credit rebuilt.
Thank you.
Your grandma mentioned you wanted to build your life with your girlfriend. She lives in Seymour. Are you thinking of moving there, or?
At this moment, no, because I wanna make sure I'm getting on my feet by myself currently before I try to continue and, develop this relationship further.
And how old is your girlfriend?
She is 26.
Any other questions, or anyone want to make a motion? Anybody have comments that they'd like to talk about, what they're thinking?
I have a question, if I may. He put a deposit down to hold this apartment, and I know he said something about an eval tomorrow. Would this, after the eval, is it all gonna depend on whether he can move to this place or not?
Well, right now, we're trying to decide, how everybody feels about whether they want him to maybe get this evaluation first and then come back before the board. And there's a lot of options that we have. We could approve him for a period of time and then he'd need to come back. We could deny him, and then he could reapply later on in the future after he has gone through the eval and maybe some treatment. So it's really up to the board right now what they're going to decide. So right now, we're waiting for somebody to make a motion to see if we're going to either approve or deny him.
Let's see, I would move for 90 days. And then we would get the results of the evaluation. And hopefully he would have been able to start a treatment program, and we'd have some documentation regarding that.
Okay, and how long of a treatment program do you think he would require?
Look, Donna, we're gonna try to take the vote first. To see if there's even anyone who's gonna second that motion.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Donna, we've got a motion on the floor, so this isn't an ongoing conversation. The board has to vote now.
I see, okay.
All right, so, Faye made the motion for 90 days, address specific. And what were the conditions, Faye?
That he have the evaluation, and we get some information about what was recommended. And if treatment is recommended, that he's in treatment, and we get some documentation about how he's doing, or how often he's attending.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
And just to have a complete record, Faye, you didn't use the magic word approve. You said
Yes,
do
that's
90 days.
Approved for 90 days, yes, thank
Okay.
you.
And I second that.
Okay. All in favor of that motion? Aye.
I,
I,
Opposed? Okay. Jared, you're approved for 90 days. You will need to come back and you will need to provide us documentation of your evaluation and that you're in and how that's going.
Okay, do I send that to the city clerk here?
Yeah, they don't, you don't need to reapply, correct?
He does not. If he could just bring me the any of the treatment documents and his evaluation. This is Deanna from the law department. So we are at City Hall on the second floor.
Okay.
All right, and then do you want us to mail to the Oakland Ave or the Shawano Ave?
We'll do the Oakland Ave, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next on the agenda is the appeal of Alfonso Hodges requesting to move to 1744 14th Avenue. Hodges, are you here?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Now, you have been before the board several occasions. I know that we do have a lot of new board members right now, so I'm gathering they're gonna wanna hear about your offense. Am I correct with the rest of the board feeling that way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Alfonso, we're gonna ask that you talk about what you were convicted of, how it became known to everybody, and if we want to talk about your treatment, can we do that in public or private session?
Oh, public is okay.
Okay. So again, please don't name the victim by name or relationship. So
Okay.
tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was, this happened 20 years ago, 2001. I was convicted of second degree sexual assault. I think it was 2 counts, I think. And went to my buddy's house to go pick him up to go to the bar, and he had people there that I didn't even know. Ended up staying, drinking, and ended up having sex with girls that I didn't even know. Went home, and the next morning I got picked up.
Can I just clarify, did you say girls plural or girl?
Girls, I got convicted of second degree sexual assault. I think 2 counts, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
No, and then I ended up going home, and then woke up the next morning. Cops were at my door, and I was arrested then.
And did you plead guilty to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how much time did you get for that offense?
I believe it was 30 days.
And then probation?
I did probation. I completed my sexual treatment courses. I've not reoffended. I did get arrested again for not complying or something like that. I got kicked out of my house for my girlfriend. I wrote a letter, sent the letter. They said that they never got the letter, and then I ended up going to court for that. Nothing. I didn't get convicted or anything of the not compliance or whatever. The judge put me in jail for child support. I think I did like 60 or 90 days for that. And then I moved into a place. Didn't know I had to register. Cop showed up at my door, telling me I had to go through the committee. He ended up watching my house and found out that I was doing nothing. There was nothing illegal going on. There was no girls coming in and out, nothing like that. I lived at that place for 8 years, no problem. Moved out of there, and I've been with my girlfriend or fiance now. After that, we live at 1942 Wood Lane right now, and we've been here for 3 years with no problems as well. We just bought a house at 1744 14th. I'm excited as I'm a first-time homeowner. I've held steady jobs. Right now, I've been at my job for a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and I'm just trying to I'm just trying to get my life together and just move ahead. Like I said, it's been 20 years, and I have not reoffended, and I don't plan on reoffending. I'm very sorry it happened. It's just one of them things that you got to grow on and learn from.
Where are you working?
I'm working at Tower Pallets.
And, I mean, I know it's been 20 years, I didn't really see documentation of treatment, correct? And I'm assuming it's because it's not accessible?
I don't know. Like I said, it's been 20 years, and I did do sexual assault. I think it was sexual assault, drug and alcohol, or something. I don't know, but I completed it. And
Where did you complete it?
I can't remember what the name of the place was, but it was way before COVID and all this, and I can't remember where it was. I'm sorry.
But it wasn't in prison, it was after.
Yes, it was after. I never went to prison. Never. I've never been in prison in my life. I don't plan on going to prison, so that's just not what I know.
Can I ask why you didn't fill out the, community ties and support part of the packet?
I went through it with the lady, and the lady walked me through the stuff that needed to be filled out. I did. If there was something that I missed, like I said, she walked me through it. I don't know. What would you like to know, ma'am?
Do you have any support from the community, or how long have you lived in Green Bay? Any of that?
I've lived in Green Bay over 20 years. The last time I went to this meeting before we moved here, I had my brother speak for me, and I'm with my fiance, and she's gonna speak on my behalf whenever you guys would like her to.
And having been before us, you know we have to approve where you're gonna live. You understand you're taking a risk on buying a house without our approval, correct?
Yes, ma'am, but I think my past record speaks for itself. I've not reoffended. I've not done. I haven't even got a speeding ticket. I've done nothing unlawful. I'm just trying to move on with my life, ma'am, and be a productive member of the community, and just I want to buy a house. You know, I want to start my life.
Does anyone have, or want to speak on your behalf?
Yes, I have my fiance Carrie here.
Okay. Carrie, if you could just state your full name and address for the record, please.
Okay. Carrie Verhagen, 1942 Wood Lane.
What would you like to?
I expect things of him. I'm strict with him. We've talked about this before. He knows where I stand on the issue. I don't approve. I never will approve of any activity like that. I expect him to go to work every day, and the sale of the house is not final yet. Still have some bank approval stuff and everything, so we're not quite there yet. We want to buy this house so that we can make our life together there. But like I said, it's not final yet. I believe in Al. He has showed me that he can toe the line. He doesn't go out and drink and party and all that kind of stuff. He stays home with me. I guess I believe in him. I can't imagine So,
Are you both planning to sign mortgage? Is it?
yes.
Okay.
The house is in my name, but he pays me every week, like a rent.
Okay,
Pays me $325 a week.
okay. Thank you.
Is that it then?
Yeah, unless the board has any questions for her.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Does the board have any other questions or comments they would like to make for Mr. Alfonso?
I do.
Okay, yes, Peter.
Yeah, Al, when do you plan on getting married?
We plan to get married in 22.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Carrie says thank you as well.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna throw out my opinion for the board. Obviously, this offense happened over 20 years ago. We've approved him to reside at Wood Lane. I mean, it looks like he's been living there since 2008?
18? Yep.
Yeah. So, and he has not had any other offenses during that time frame. So and I understand we don't have treatment documentation, but I'm sure part of that is because of the time lapse that has gone through. So for me personally, I don't have an issue with him residing at this address. Anybody else have thoughts?
I'm agreeing with you. I agree. It's been 20 years and yes, he has not been in trouble.
I also agree.
Okay.
Same here.
All right. Is there anybody that would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Hodges to 1744 14th Avenue, address specific.
Is there a second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Mr. Hodges, you've been approved to, I guess finish purchasing 1744 14th Avenue.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like us to mail it to that address, or would you like us to mail it to the Wood Lane address?
Mail it to the Wood Lane address, please.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay. Next on the agenda is the appeal of Ronald Munyon. Ronald, are you here? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right, I see that. And it looks like, Mr. Munyon, you have been before the board on a couple different occasions, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. We're gonna just have you go over your offense once again. And again, please don't talk about the victim by name or relationship. And then let the situation came to light. Okay?
Okay. To start with, it was July 18th, 1999. I got divorced that day, and I was drinking early in the morning. And drinking is an excuse. I know this. I learned that from Jim Drake in Family Services through an Focus group. But what I'm telling you is I was drinking that day, and then I went to hang out with my friend, and she had to go somewhere, asked me if I could stay there and watch Heather for her.
Please don't say names.
I'm sorry. Yes, I do. Anyway, go watch the victim. And I said, yes, that's fine. And we were just hanging out. And I was drinking beer, which I shouldn't have been. And basically, she was doing things that she wasn't on the internet. And I told her, you shouldn't be doing that. And then she asked me, like, let me see your penis. And I told her I couldn't do. And she said, why not, you know? And I said, because it's not right. And she basically convinced me that she always had a crush on me and stuff. And I told her that we can't do this. And she said she wouldn't tell if I didn't tell. And I should have never did it. I should have never, you know. choice a long time ago, and my rehabilitation with Jim Drake at Family Services basically reminded me that drinking was a big problem in my life, and I quit drinking back in 2003, and I do not touch alcohol anymore. That has nothing to do with the offense. Is one of the things that I determined, me and Jim Drake determined in Family Services. So, basically, I talked to her mother. Her mother's deceased now, but back then, and she told me that I did her wrong, and I did her family wrong, and my victim had to have additional counseling, and I felt very remorseful about that, because, you know, I should have never made that choice. That's all I can say. I did not go to prison. I turned myself in. I did 90 days in jail and 8 years on probation. I had Lydia King. I had, what was that other girl's name? I can't remember. I was released from probation on September 10th, 2012, and I have not been in any trouble since. I've been working. I work in De Pere at Romo Durable Graphics. I'm not the same man today that I was 20 years ago. I've grown a lot from this. I wish I had my wife here to speak on my behalf, but she called in to work early today, so it's just me by myself. I do apologize about that.
Okay.
But I feel that I've grown a lot. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You said you were on probation for 8 years?
Yes, I was on probation for 8 years because the judge said he might have suspected, but so he gave me a prison sentence of 6 years in the penitentiary. However, he gave me a state-imposed sentence, and I didn't understand it other than I had to do 90 days in jail at Brown County Jail, and I did it under the Huber program, and I had to go through denial focus group phase 1, which was beginners, denial focus group immediate, and denial focus group aftercare. I went through SORT, I went through AODA counseling because I did smoke a little marijuana back then. I shouldn't have done that either, but you know, I had to go through the counseling to understand why I do this. And what I learned for the years is that I used to like to self-medicate, and you can't self-medicate in reality. You have to be, you have to be conscious of your decisions. You have to realize that life's not a party. And I realize life's not a party. Like I said, I'm not the same man I was 21 years ago. I want to say 1999. And I'm just asking for approval. I did receive approval like 6 years ago from the board, and we couldn't find a place, my wife and I. So we ended up settling for roommate living in De Pere, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, last year, our roommates decided they had to move, and we couldn't afford the place ourselves, so we had to basically I tried to comply every which way possible. I talked to City Hall. City Hall said I have to find somebody that's willing to rent to me, and then I have to get an affidavit from him that states that he's willing to rent to me, and then I had to go down to City Hall and go through that process. So I did that. But again, all I'm asking for is approval to live here at 1144 Stewart Street, because I have to live somewhere. I don't want to be homeless. I do work for a living. I'm a very responsible individual. I wasn't way back then. And that's about all I
You're
can
currently not living in De Pere? You got kicked out?
The lease was up in July 31st, and I stayed in my truck, and then I called probation and parole and told them that the landlord gave me approval. I don't know what they're doing as far as setting up an appointment for the approval, but I did receive approval 6 years ago, and I thought that was okay. So I moved in here. I even called SORT. I reported to SORT that I moved in here with my wife, and we were just waiting to hear from Green Bay, because I can't be homeless.
Right.
You know, I'm a very responsible individual. I can't be homeless. And it took me forever to find one person to rent to us. Just one. one person that was cost effective, because I can't afford $1,000 a month. So that's why I'm asking the Board of Green Bay to give me another opportunity to reside here at 1144 Stewart Street. If not, I'm gonna be homeless. I have no other choice. Nobody will rent to me.
Okay. Does the board have any questions? And I apologize, Mr. Munyon, I didn't really ask you about your treatment, if we could do that in public or private. You just kind of chose to continue talking about a little bit in
Oh, that's all
public,
right.
so I hope you were okay with that.
Yeah, it's public knowledge anyway.
Okay.
I am on the sex offender registry, you know, and like I said, I'm just trying to comply the best I can. And with COVID, it's becoming a little harder.
Sure.
So if my wife could be here, she would be here, but she got called to work, so I do apologize.
It's okay. Do any of the board members have any questions for him or any comments?
I do have a question. In my notes, I have that there was a second sexual assault in 2003, but not listed under sexual offense. I apologize, I can't see that right now, so I'm just wondering about that. If anyone looking through their packet, do you see anything about that? I did this like last week, so I don't remember.
Yes, there was a 2003, that I think, let me see, I don't recall if there was a second,
This is Deanna. I think it may be the same offense because he wrote on the top he was convicted in '03.
that's what I was thinking too, but
Oh,
I didn't see
okay.
another judgment of conviction on that.
Yeah,
It looks like Mr. Munyon wants
Yeah,
to.
wants to say something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was just
Go ahead,
going
Ron.
to say, it was a conviction. It was one conviction. The incident happened in 1999, on July 18th, 1999, and I turned myself in after, I think it was 2001, and they said they would let me know in 9 months, or they said 2 weeks they would let me know if Brown County was going to do anything, and it took them like 9 months before they said that they were going to charge me with sexual assault. And then I went through the court process for like another year and a half. It kept delaying court. And then finally I was convicted in 2003. So that's what that is.
All right.
If that helps you.
Yes, it does, thank you.
Okay.
No problem.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I guess I also have a comment to make. You've said that you've been to us before, so you thought it was okay now that you could just move into Stewart Street, and that's not the case. You do have to come and be approved before you go to any address. Like, if you move, you have to come back to us, not because we approved you to one address, do you continue to just be approved? Do you understand
well, I
that?
do apologize. Yeah, I do apologize about that. I did go to the board, like I said, about 6 years ago, and when I was approved, I thought I was approved, I could come back. He said, well, it's been too long, you have to go to City Hall again. So, again, I apologize.
It's just for every
I live
address.
in the truck.
Time has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Do we have any other
Well, let me
comments
get
from the board? Ron, I'm sorry, did you want to say something else?
No, I was gonna say if I can't get approval, I'll have to stick in my truck. I don't know what else to do.
Well, we're gonna talk about that right now.
Fair enough.
Okay. Any comments from the board? Okay, well, I'll give you my opinion again. So my opinion is, again, this happened back in 1999. Again, I know we don't have treatment records, but he was able to let us know of all the different programs that he has participated in. He has not had really any issues since that arrest. Again, like he said, he's been working, he's been addressed, so I don't have a problem with him staying at this Stewart Street address. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I agree.
I agree also.
All right, is there anyone who would like to make a motion?
I move that Ronald be approved, address specific, 1144 Stewart Street, Upper.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Opposed.
Is that one opposed? Okay. All right, Mr. Munyon, you have been a reside at 1144 Stewart Street, Upper, address specific. Again, if you do decide to move from that address, you do have to come back before the board again.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you very much. God bless you.
Would you like us to mail that to the Stewart Street or the De Pere address?
Stewart Street would be great, 1144 Stewart, Upper. I don't know if the address is Upper or a half. The mailbox says Upper, the post office said it was a half, so all I know is it's an Upper.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, God bless you all, have a great day.
Yeah. All right, next on the agenda is Daniel Hebb, requesting to move to 1006 Dousman Street. Daniel, I see you there. Daniel, you have been before the board on multiple occasions. Let's see, the last time you were January of this year, requesting to move to 1904 Farland Avenue. We approved you for that address, and now you're looking to move again?
Correct.
Is there a reason why you're moving so soon?
Yes. Circumstances, because it's actually the woman that I'm living with, my girlfriend, it's actually her residence, and her son was residing in that residence, and he is actually moving out of state. So, we decided to see if we can move in there together. And my probation officer agreed, and now I'm here, seeing if you guys will.
Okay. Again, I know we have some new board members. I don't know if you read his information or if you'd like him to go over his, what he was convicted of. Would you like him to do that, board members?
If you could briefly just get the
Okay.
overview.
Sure. Daniel, if you can just go ahead and tell us what you were charged with and convicted of, and give us the circumstances, but again, don't talk about the victim by name.
Correct. I was convicted in 2008 of first degree sexual assault and repeated sexual assault of a minor under the age of 12. At the time, it was the woman that I was dating was her daughter. It started out when she was approximately 8 years old. It went on for a 4-year period until I was arrested. And then I was arrested, convicted, I didn't put no one through a trial, didn't fight it. I was convicted, I was sentenced to prison to 18 years altogether, 10 years in confinement, and 8 years probation. I've been released since 2018.
Were you told by your probation officer allowed to live with your girlfriend's son? Why were you waiting till he moved out?
No, I was not, but her son is of age. So no, it was not, I guess didn't want to live with her kid. He had, at the time, or he still does have dogs. So, it was a better
fit. And, we were planning on, still planning on buying another residence. So we didn't see this happening at this time. Just some circumstances came up and he's young and wants to move out of state. So, she does not want to lose her residence. So, I went in, like I said, asked my probation officer. She did a house evaluation through it, went to her supervisor, gave us the green light, and we're here.
So your girlfriend is the one who owns the home?
Correct.
Okay.
And she wouldn't be here today, but she was here earlier, but she had to actually run her son to work. So she just stepped out just like 5 minutes ago.
And how long have the two of you been dating?
Pretty much 2019, 2018, around there. Went through the whole gambit of probation and parole, just coming out of prison, being fresh out, jump into a relationship, you know, they don't really see that as a good thing. So we had to go through some stuff, through our end and prove that we were, that it was serious. She knows everything about my crime. She knows my 3 PO that I had, cause I'm on my 3rd one right now. So Candy is my probation officer. They, communicate. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And then Daniel, if we want to talk about your treatment, are you okay with talking about that in public, or would you prefer private?
Public's okay.
Okay. So it looks like you have received sex offender treatment, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And did you do some of that while you were incarcerated, or did you do that after you got released from prison?
I did both. I completed one at Red Granite, 7-month course they had there at the time. And then when I got released, I started with the DOC through Rebecca. They lost their contract. And then I went to Pablo and basically started over with him. And I completed that treatment with him, with Pablo.
And how long about were you with Pablo?
Over probably maybe 13 months. I was in treatment right when I got out, when I first seen you guys in 2018. And then, like I said, we got transferred, or we got a different provider. So basically started over. I'm not really sure the date. I think the date's on my letter I sent you guys.
Yeah.
When I did complete it.
Yeah, we got that. Okay. Does the board have any questions or comments for him?
I have a question. Daniel, when do you plan on getting married?
When do I plan on getting married?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I have a 5-year plan in my head. A lot of things like getting work, getting stable, working on myself through my, like when I got all my AODA, my SOT groups, just staying strong, positive. I have a lot of things to prove to a lot of individuals, and that's including her. So I gave myself a 5-year plan. That's a thing. It's one of them. We have talked about it, but like I said, I have a lot to prove. It just doesn't happen overnight. But I believe since I've been out in 2018, I've been doing excellent, I would say. Been employed. I work for Georgia Pacific right now. Been there, blessing to get into that. Been there since January, so I'm going on 18 months or something, or around there.
You work full-time?
At Georgia Pacific?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you haven't been in any other trouble, nothing coming up? You don't know about?
Well, in my early, I guess 18, when I first got out, I was, at the time, I guess you would say the girlfriend that I was with, was a chaperone, and we decided to have a relationship without telling my probation officer. And then we did tell her, and she asked how long we were seeing each other. With that being said, she took away, from me seeing my son, and then she took away from me seeing my girlfriend at the time. They were like my big support group at the time, still are. I kind of went off the little deep end, and I ended up in the county jail. My PO at the time was, I can't think of her name, came in, released me the next day, and talked to me, and, you know, she didn't put blame on herself, but she said she could have probably handled it a little bit different because she just said this and then threw me out the office, and I didn't know at the time how to really, like, I guess I kind of didn't know how to handle it, and I went back to my other way of thinking, and when I got out, we talked, I got back into AODA treatment, talked to Rebecca at the time, who was my facilitator, went through another packet of just how to handle things when they do come up, instead of handling them like I used to handle them. And that has worked out by communicating with my probation officer, communicating with my support group, my father, my family, anyone that will listen and I can talk to. And that's what I do a lot. People say I talk too much sometimes, but you live and learn, and since then I had no bumps in the road, no violations of any, and everything's been going really well since then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else from the board? No, again, here's my opinion. So I will have no issue approving him, especially looking back at his history with us. When he got out of prison, I mean, we pretty much approved him right away to live in the city on Oakland Street, and even a couple different times within that apartment building, and then we approved him for Farland Avenue. So I think that kind of shows a good track record for him. I mean, he did provide us the documentation for the treatment that he received, so I don't have any concerns with him. Anybody else?
I agree. The history is good.
I agree also.
Okay.
Same here.
So I'll make a motion to approve to 1006 Dousman, I'm assuming that's right. Address specific.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, Mr. Have you been approved to move to 1006 Dousman? Again, if you decide to move from there, you know you need to come back before us.
Correct.
Okay, and then would you like us to mail us to that address or to the Farland Avenue?
One address, please.
Okay,
Can I get off? Can I get on, or do I have to sit for the end?
no, you can get off.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You guys
bye-bye.
have a good day.
You too. Okay, next on the agenda is the appeal of 1228th Street. I see Cody is here. Cody, you have been before us on multiple occasions again. So we will just have you kind of go over, again, we have some new board members. So if you could just go over your offense and what you were convicted of. Again, don't say the victim's name or relationship.
Okay, in 2007, I was at a party, and I ended up sleeping with a 14-year-old girl. I didn't know how old she was at the time, but I mean that doesn't even matter. But okay, so then yeah, it was my friend's babysitter. It's been a long time since I actually thought about it. Think about how that went, but it was a friend's babysitter. And I was drinking. Is there anything else? I mean, I'm nervous right now. Actually, I don't know why.
I'm sorry, so what did you do with this 14-year-old?
We had sex. I sexually assaulted her. And I mean, that's the crime. I mean,
And that was a one-time deal. You didn't.
Yeah, I never met her before that. I never seen her ever after that either.
Okay. And then how did the police get involved?
Well, I mean, the night that it happened, after it had happened, I didn't know how old she was, so my friend came out and I had no idea, so I was like, hey girl, I said, hey man, I slept with your babysitter, and then he told me how old she was, and then so that night I went home and I was freaking out. So and honestly, I was just hoping. I was like, wow, what an idiot! I hope and pray that this just blows over and nothing comes of it. Well, 3 months later, I got a letter in the mail. And they charged me through the mail, and then I took the court process. It took another 2 years almost to get convicted, and then I was convicted in 2009.
All right. Do you wish to talk about your treatment at all in public or private session?
I can do it in public, don't matter, yeah.
And have you received treatment?
Yes, I did the SO2 program at Oshkosh Correctional. I think that would have been in 2010 or 11, one of the two.
Okay.
Between, right in there, yeah.
All right.
And I did see Jim Drake on the streets also. But while I was on probation, I did 5 years on probation, but after about a year of sex offender treatment on the streets, my PO said, she doesn't think that I need any more treatment at all. She said, so she took me out of it. Jim Drake agreed to take me out of it.
Okay. And maybe I'm messing up, but did you turn in any documentation? Because I guess I'm not seeing it. If I did, I'm missing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember if I did my PO would have had it. I'm not on paper anymore, but I mean, I think I've showed it to you guys in the past. I mean,
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I know that we have approved you several times, which we wouldn't have not seen documentation regarding your treatment. Okay, so why are you looking at moving?
Well, my girlfriend or ex-wife, fiance, whatever you want to call it, 14 years we've been together on and off. She bought a house, and since I can't live there right now, I've been staying at my sister's house until I could get approved here. She's here too to talk if you need to talk to her.
It's your girlfriend or your wife?
She's actually my ex-wife.
Legally, we're divorced.
Right.
In 2009, when he went to prison, we did divorce, but within a couple of days of him being released, we have gotten back together. And he's been living within like 3 different addresses for the last 14 years, kind of back and forth between when I move and stuff like that. So we're just kind of going to the next phase. I bought this house and would like him to move in with me.
Okay, I'm sorry, could you just state your name and your address for the record?
Kristen Broadhagen, 1220 8th Street.
Okay. All right, so, what would you like to say about Cody?
He's been doing really well. He's had a little issues in the past, and we have broken up a few times, but right now everything is good. He's trying to start some businesses and stuff like that. Trying to do the right thing, and right now we're kind of living apart and would like to, live together again. In my notes, I have, will stepdaughter reside with them? I apologize, this was done a while ago, so I'm not exactly sure why I wrote that. Do you have a daughter separate from Cody? Yes, I have a 16-year-old daughter with another ex-boyfriend, and he at times did not allow him to live with me, so at times he would have to move out just out of anger. He doesn't have any right to my daughter. He's not even on the birth certificate, I don't even think. And he's just caused some issues over the years. But now she, since COVID, moved in with my sister to help with my nephew, and she has just decided to stay there at this time. So at this time, there is no child living in my home. Okay, I just wasn't sure why. Now that you say that, I remember reading about her dad not liking it. He's caused a lot of problems in the past, but he shouldn't be an issue right now as long as he gets accepted at my home. Okay.
All right, does the board have any other questions or comments they would like to make?
I do have another question.
Yes.
I also have written down that in the court papers it said enroll in tech school for another line of work. Can you explain that?
Says what?
It says enroll in tech school for another line of work. I'm sorry, I can't look it up, but he isn't going to tech school. I don't see.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't even know. It was like in 2018. I have 2018 written there, and then enroll in tech school for another line of work. It was like in the court papers. That's what the judge said.
I think back then, I don't know.
Yeah, he might have been thinking about it, but.
Yeah. I never did that, I don't think. I know I did, I know. Cool.
And then in the papers it says, you work for cash. What kind of work do you do?
I work for cash. So I do side, little things for my sister owns a company, but I mean, I don't really, I have a full-time job there. I just go over and help her clean up if she needs me to help her, really. So, I mean, that's what she just pays me.
Like a handyman type thing, or?
Well, kind of when she has, when there's stuff to, she just pays me to do odd things around her house and stuff. Just she knows I needed money at the time. Right now, me and a friend of mine are in the process of starting a business doing roofing and siding, and we got everything purchased. He says, so as soon as that's going, I'll be working full time.
Any other comments or questions?
I have one question. Do you plan on getting remarried?
Once my child support is paid up, yes, yep. But we made that mistake when we got married the first time. We were young, we were 24 years old, and we got married. I still owe child support. They ended up taking all of her money. So I'm not going to do that to her. I'm not going to put her in that position where. So.
Thank you.
He had to pay off his child support before we got married.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Well, again, I really don't have an issue approving Cody. He has been out in the community for quite some time. This offense was quite a long time ago. I do know that, you had in 2019 the failure to provide the sex offender information. which, I'm gathering at that time, were you?
We were broken up for
Yeah,
a month or two.
we were broken up, and then I had a warrant for probation and parole, so I took off. So I was absconding, and then so I think I was absconding for like 2 or 3 months, and then they charged me with that.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, based on his past history, his approvals, and, you know, the treatment that we had received previously, I don't have an issue with him, staying at this 8th Street address. Anybody else have any other thoughts or opinions?
Agreed, you answered the questions I had, so that's.
Agreed, too.
Okay,
Same here.
okay. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I will move approval, address specific, 1220 8th Street.
For a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Cody, you're approved to reside at the 1220 8th Street, address specific. Would you like us to mail that to that address or to the Shawano Avenue?
You can send it to 8th Street, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Next on the agenda is the appeal of Jose Bautista requesting to move to 413 North Chestnut Avenue. Is Jose on here?
I am.
Okay. All right. Jose, you have been before us also in the past. It's been quite some time since you've been here. So we're going to just ask that you tell us about the offense, what you were convicted of, and please don't state the victim's name or your relationship.
Well, when I was 18 years old, I had sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old. I met her at a party I didn't never know her. It was September 16th, the Mexican Fest downtown. It was a group of, you know, I was in high school at the time. There's this group of high schoolers, and it was just, you know, smoking pot and just basically partying. You know, I was young. I was just reckless at the time. And we ended up having sexual intercourse. And then about a week and a half later, I got arrested. So.
All right. Do you know how? Did she tell somebody what happened?
She was reported as a runaway, and she must. I think her aunt reported it that me and her had sexual intercourse, and I really don't know how it happened because on the police report it says that she was a runaway, and she said she wasn't she didn't participate in the crime, or she didn't, you know, she didn't wasn't a victim of any sort. And then a week later, it came out that me and her had sexual intercourse because her mom found a hickey in her neck, and then I was arrested after that.
Okay. And how much time did you get for that?
I got 12 years in supervision, and 2 years incarceration, a total of 14 years. I've been on parole for 10 years. I accomplished a lot. You know, it's been a bumpy road. Not gonna lie. You know, I did end up going back to jail, but not re-offending. Basically, just rule violations like smoking pot, and I ended up relapsing marijuana, and just I got married to my to Guadalupe Gomez, which is now my ex-wife. We did not get along very well, and domestic violence was involved, and alcohol, drugs were, you know, used after that. I relapsed, and now we're divorced, and it's been almost 5 years, and everything's like, ever since I started moving out on my own, now I got kids. I got 2 girls, and I'm just like very remorseful because now I have 2 daughters, and it's like I think back of what I caused, and it's like, I definitely don't want my daughters going through it. You know, I kind of failed as a man. I should have been more alert. And to be honest, I was really young and I was just dumb. Like my mentality wasn't fully developed. It was just like, whatever, let's party and just do whatever, you know.
When do you get done with probation?
I get done I got 2 years left. I think it's like 2023, September 2023, I believe. I'm not sure of the date.
Okay, that's okay. And I'm sorry, if we want to talk about your treatment programs, can we talk about that during public session, or do you want to go in private session?
Public is fine.
Okay. It doesn't look like you were, oh, yes, you did need to complete sex offender treatment according to your judgment of conviction. Did you do that while you were in custody?
No, I actually did it while I was here.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I may have missed that again.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but I had my parole due forward to you guys, but I don't know if you guys got it. But this is my certificate for SOT2.
Oh, okay. When did you complete that?
July 31st of 2018.
Okay. I'm sorry, I must have missed that then.
I don't believe I received that, so it wasn't in the packet because I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
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 It wasn't missed, okay.
I apologize for that. When I filled out the application, I couldn't remember what was the program that I took and finished. So I had my probation bureau officer forward that to you guys. I don't know if she did or not, and if she didn't, I apologize. That's why I kind of held it up so you guys can see it. But I apologize for that.
Yep. Okay. And are you working anywhere right now?
Yes, I just became a general contractor. My certificate here for general contracting, certified from OSHA, DNR, and city jobs, hotels, like anything. So this is like a big changer for me. I've been running a company, South Shore Roofing.
What is it called?
South Shore Roofing, but they have a website too. You guys can go on southshoreroofing.com. They got a website and all that stuff. All the jobs that are on there, I personally completed all those. I've been traveling for work. I've been doing good. I'm just trying to move in with my fiance. I got full custody of my kids. I am like basically a single father. The mothers are not in their lives, and I got one a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I'm battling custody for the 4-year-old right now. I've been having her for about 3 months now, and I got full custody of my 3-year-old. So.
Okay. Is there anyone who wants to speak on your behalf?
There was, but my fiance just actually walked out because my daughters are in their room fighting, and
okay.
But I was like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I can explain everything. But she's over here, everything. My probation officer came to the house and she looked everything over. Right now I'm residing at 265 North Dance Avenue, but my lease is up, and I was gonna go get my own place again because I have both my daughters, but my fiance said, can we try to become family and live under the same roof? And I was always scared about me doing that because of my past, like my ex-wife, and how we fought and how I was getting kicked out of the house, and it's just like I was scared of it, and I said, you know what, let's try it. She's her name's Stephanie, my fiance. She's been very supportive. Her whole family understands. I don't go anywhere unless I tell them about my case. I explain to everybody, of course I'm not gonna go to a client and be explaining to them, but because that will like lose business, but other than that, very honest with people if they ask me. I'm just, I've been doing so well, to be honest. I accomplished a lot. I'm still in college. I'm in college for electricity. So it's like I'm moving forward with my life and trying to forget, but every day I still remember like what I caused, you know, what I paid for, and I'm still paying. You know, I did my prison sentence, but it's still like it's in the back of my head every day of my life. Like I actually caused this, and I fear that my kids can go through this, you know. And I have 2 daughters now, so it's like, are you freaking serious? Like, why would you do this? Why would you do that? You know, and now that I'm actually maturing in my head, it's like kind of too, I won't say too late, but it kind of like, it's always going to be there, you know, and it's just, I'm moving on, and, you know, I hope you guys can understand me, and I hope you guys take in consideration everything I accomplished. Not a lot of people accomplish what I've been accomplishing, and that's all really I have, you know.
I just have a question. So your daughters are gonna be living with you. Who are the other 2 people that are listed on your application?
My,
Stephanie's kids?
yeah, they're 18. Both of them are 18. Octavian's like 11, but he's like has microcephaly, so he's kind of like handicapped. So he's like basically half his age. But I mean, I have no problems around kids. It's just something I caused and committed a crime, you know, when I was 18. My rules doesn't state that I can be under, it only states that I can't be around girls 14 and 17 because of my crime. It doesn't state that I can't be around like boys or, you know, or be around children because I do have full custody of my kids.
Okay. All right. Does the board have any questions or comments that they would like to take care of right now?
Did you just say you were going to school to be an electrician?
Yep.
Okay. And you did, at maybe one of the last times you were with us, you were working for Voss, maybe? Voss what?
No, I was getting an interview for Boss and I was going to get apprenticeship.
Okay.
My father passed away and I ended up paying for everything. It was just like one big hole. Just my whole year was just negative that year, and I had to exit out of school and I had to move everything, pay for his funeral, and that's kind of where I said, you know what, this is enough. I've been doing roofing for a long time now. I installed solar systems, solar panels. You know, I installed gutters. So I've been doing this for a long, and I accomplished all this for over, you know, and it's just a very sad moments for me at those times emotionally and mentally, because my father, that was always the only person that used to support me, is now gone, and now I found this like family that took me in, and it's like everybody's accepting me in there and giving me all their support, and that's just like a life changer for me. They love my kids, you know, they see my kids as their own family, and it's just like big whole change. You know, I've been out of trouble for over 5 years already. I haven't caused nothing but try to build something, be a positive role model for the community.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else from the board?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, sure.
Okay. To approve Mr. Batista to 413 North Chestnut, address specific.
I will second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Jose, you've been approved to reside at 413 West Chestnut. Will need to come back before us. Okay, would you like us to mail that to the Chestnut or the Dan's Avenue?
413 North Chestnut will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, have a good day.
You do. All right, next on the agenda, oh, did someone say something? Oh, okay. Next on the agenda is Bruce Verhage, requesting to move to 1331 Division Street. Bruce, you were just here last month, which at that point we denied you to reside at that address. One of it was that we didn't feel comfortable not having your treatment documentation and wanted an opportunity to review it. We have received that treatment. First of all, can we talk about your treatment in public, or would you prefer that to be in private?
Well, public is okay.
Okay. So does the board need him to go over his offense again? You just heard him last month.
No.
All right. Does anyone have any questions at all about the treatment documentation that was provided to us?
Well, my one question I have from my notes is that it says that your father is not excited for you to live with him.
I saw that too.
Will you repeat that, please?
I saw in the documentation that it says your father is not excited for you to live with him.
Well, okay, I don't know about that. I've talked to my dad and he wants me to live with him.
What was that, Bruce?
I talked to my father and he said that he wants me to live with him. So I don't understand where that came from. Hello?
Raymond, I see
Yes.
that you're on the phone. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. Could you just state your name and address for the record, please?
Raymond Verhage, 1331 Division Street.
Okay. So, one of the board members had made a comment that in your son's evaluation, you had indicated that you were not excited about him living with you. Do you remember having that conversation with his treatment team?
No, I don't remember that. And I don't think I made such a comment.
Yeah, the exact comment was, this is what was documented, and this was back on May of 2020. His father said he has never thought of his son moving in with him, and he does not know what to expect if Mr. Verhage were to do so.
No, I don't recall that at all.
Okay. Do you remember during that time that your son informed you that he was still attracted to children?
No.
Are you worried that your son is attracted to children?
No, I don't think he is, because he always tells me that he isn't because of his treatment program.
Okay. I have quite a bit of stuff highlighted in that was provided to us. Bruce, I'm just gonna be pretty honest with you, I'm not comfortable with it at all. There are several occasions throughout this document that was provided, how, you're really not willing or able to show that you are fully transparent about your sexual functioning. That you've lied on your polygraphs. You have underestimated the level of arousal that you experience when you see girls or boys on outings or on TV. How do you feel about that?
I feel bad that I have lied on the polygraph.
I do feel good that I am being really honest now. And I believe I've told my dad that I'm always going to be attracted to kids. But now I am I'm attracted to women, which is something that in the past I never thought was possible.
How much right now are you currently using your ammonia inhalants?
Well, when I see a child on TV that I'm attracted to, I right away sniff my ammonia and read my reasons not to read them.
How often does that happen?
Let's see. About every other day. I haven't been watching much TV.
So you still have an attraction to children?
So yeah, I'm gonna be attracted to children till the day I die. Anyone that says that the attraction to kids, they just go away, is lying. We'll probably get that.
Bruce, do you
For the
have
rest of my life,
Go ahead, what was that?
for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to manage my arousal to kids with the use of ammonia and ammonia therapy. And I'm glad that my arousal to women is way up there, which would, helps me to be less attracted to children. But being attracted to children, that's never going to go away. I just have to manage it so I can keep it low.
Are you required to take any more treatment, or are you all done with treatment?
Treatment? Oh, no. But tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the Sangha, I am going to start treatment with Stephen. He's a therapist, that helps sex offenders just like John Nemec is. Well, was, he died.
Who is that guru? Because I thought the Sangha was like where you do your meditation and practice your Buddhism.
Well, the Sangha is on the second floor of Power for Change.
So is Stephen through Power for Change, or is he through the Sangha?
Well, Stephen has nothing to do with the Sangha, but he works in the same building.
It looks like Ms. Heyer is on the call and is eager to provide some clarification.
Sure. If you can just state your name and address for the record.
Okay, my name at the Sangha is Shunya. My name is Lynn Heyer. I live at 1321 Garland Street, Green Bay, Wisconsin. The place where we practice, Sangha, our community, is in the second floor. Originally, Bruce was seeing John Nemec. Unfortunately, Mr. Nemec has passed away. He died July 3rd. He had emergency open heart surgery and he did not survive the surgery. So Bruce and I were working together knowing that he needed transition of care, that it was very important. Steve Chepchek is one of the owners for Power for Change, and he worked closely with John Nemec, who was also a counselor, and he had agreed then to do that transition of care for Bruce. So that's what we have scheduled now, is that he will meet Steve tomorrow so that they can make that initiation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Does the board have anything they would like to ask or any comments that they would like to make?
Bruce, where,
Yes, I was wondering, are you still on the bracelet? And if you are, how long you gonna be on it?
Oh, I'll be on the bracelet for the rest of my life.
Okay, thank you.
Bruce, where are you living now?
I'm living at 2111 North New Franken Street, New Franken, Wisconsin.
And, what shall I say, is this, like, could you continue living there?
Well, I've been discharged, and on the 27th is when I leave the house. So I'll be fully discharged from the supervised release law.
It's a state-owned, home for 980s or people who are out on conditional release, to my knowledge.
So 980, when I leave the house, well, I've already been discharged by the courts off of chapter 980. Okay, the 27th is when I leave the house and I'm fully discharged.
Okay, thank you.
Did they help you find this address on Division Street?
Did they help me? Restate it again, please.
Did your home, yes, did your home help you find this new apartment?
Renee,
The new
that's
address?
Well, I did not find an apartment. I looked for apartments. I've been turned down many times because I'm a sex offender, and I'm really scared of being homeless.
Renee, that's his dad's house.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I don't have, thank you,
he'd be living with his dad.
that's it, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And, you know, I've been working really hard in treatment. I've been really working on being very honest with people. And so I've been working hard with my ammonia therapy, and my behavior therapy is how I gain attraction to women, which, you know, a while ago I thought could never ever happen. And I think that's very helpful. And, you know, I know I'm going to be attracted to children for the rest of my life, but the thing is, I always gotta, you know, manage it with ammonia and behavior therapy so that it doesn't get out of control when I molest a child. That's one thing I never ever want to do is molest another child.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of be honest with everyone. Bruce, I'm very concerned about this report that was sent to us. I have a lot of concerns about, you know, you were very deceitful to the reporter. You know, I think I told you last month when you came to us, my concern with you is you don't have just one preference. You have a preference to boys, you have a preference, and now you have a preference to women that, you know, you're telling us. I still am not very comfortable at all reading the report that was provided to us. So that's kind of where I stand at this moment. I don't know how any of the other board members feel. They want to talk. Do any of the board members want to talk about it? Or Bruce, do you have something to say?
Yeah, so it seems like to me that being also attracted to women is a concern?
Well,
Am I
didn't
getting
tell
it
us
wrong?
that. Sorry, hold on.
I think being attracted to a woman, someone, you know, started over 18 years old, I think that's a good thing. That's very helpful for me.
I agree.
Very appropriate.
Yes, it is appropriate. But you have a lot of interests ranging from boys to girls to women. And for me, that's concerning. The other board members may feel differently. I'm just giving you how I feel about it.
And it is, oh, go ahead. Sean.
Thank you. Just on Bruce's behalf, it's, he has been working very hard and he was very open. He allowed me to read the report so that I would understand his issues. And, he knows that he needs to be honest, and part of his practice and the community is holding him accountable. I've heard that it's important for him to have strong male figures. There are several men in the community that are standing behind him. They do that work. They've been in treatment themselves, and they have been very helpful with Bruce holding him accountable. We're reaching out to circles of support. We know that he needs that kind of community, people that he can share with and be honest. So he is being brutally honest with, and I'm really proud of him for doing that. But I understand your concerns. I understand the board's concerns. However, we really strongly feel that if he doesn't have the support of his father and a place to stay where he's safe, he won't continue this progress. And so I just really, with all due respect, I hope you can understand that and understand that he does have limitations, but there are people that are very willing to support him. So thank you.
Thank you.
Did his dad have more to say? I thought I saw his phone on.
Yes. The last time you were kind of interested if there were going to be any rules, and I said, well, the only rule is that he doesn't go anywhere, that he stays home. Well, he does have to go to some places, but some of the rules that I've got is that there should be no kids in the house, no pictures of kids in the house, no TV programs with kids in them. If children come to the door, he should get me. If I'm not home and the child comes, do not answer the door. Bruce needs to be conscious of the media that he sees, like on TV, like avoiding image of the children when they may show up.
Do you have any grandchildren?
Do I? No. No. Bruce is my only child.
Okay. I guess I'm torn because I am very, very concerned on all of it. I don't know where he would live if he's not with his dad. That's a concern. But yeah, that report was alarming to me.
My thoughts are, I would not feel comfortable with a permanent approval.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Could they possibly do like a 60 or 90 day and then revisit again?
And what would you like to see out of that?
Basically, if he's still going through the treatment or having people that he's working with, that they can come and speak on his behalf. And, I know he's down to bracelets, so I know those are pretty restrictive. I don't know what else to look for.
I was gonna say too, if he starts treatment, that we get a report on how that's going and.
Does someone wanna make that kind of a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make that motion to be, address specific for 1331 Division Street for 90 days.
So you're making the motion to approve him for 90 days?
Yes. And then come back
And what are
with,
gonna be the requirements when he comes back?
documentation that he's in treatment yet, and verification that he does have, support from other people.
I would like to add that we speak to his dad again to
Yeah.
see how things are going day to day.
Okay,
Second for that motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed?
Opposed.
And so it appears it's 3-2. So, Bruce, you are approved to move to 1331 address specific, but you must come back here in 90 days with the, information that the board has requested of you.
yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, next on the agenda is the appeal of Albert Ruleford requesting to move to 445 Harton in Green Bay. Try to see you here, Albert. Yep, there you are. Okay, so it has been a while since you have been before the board. So I guess we'll just have you go through what you've been convicted of. And again, please don't speak of the victim by name or relationship.
So back in I think it was 2013, I had posted an ad on Craigslist to hook up with somebody, and an underage, somebody who was 15 years old, responded to it. When after work, when I went to go meet him, it was a undercover officer, and I was arrested at that time, and I went to jail.
Had you ever placed any ads before?
I had, during the treatment that I've been doing right now, I think a lot of the ads had to do with, like, loneliness because there was I just got done doing this, what's called a 40 links ad in my treatment, and, as far as that, public or private for the treatment, it's public, so I have no issue talking about it. Everybody at work knows about it. All my friends, one of the first things I talk about just so that they know. But yes, so leading up to that, I never really formed attachments to people because I was afraid of being abandoned. So I did post ads on Craigslist before that, and I think I got into a habit of it because it was easier instead of going out to the bar because I'm not a really big drinker, and it was easier to be behind a screen than it was to deal with the rejection in person. And the 40 links that I just got done doing in treatment, that really helped open my eyes as far as what was going on in my life at the time. So that was one of the big things, was the antisocial behavior. Did that answer your question?
It does, thank you.
All right. looks like you're trying to purchase the home.
Yes, yeah, so I was really fortunate to get, the offer was accepted on Sunday. And then I was frantic because I knew that you guys met on Wednesday. So I called, and got everything on Monday taken care of. And, I so thankful that I was able to get on here because I didn't want to have to wait until next month, knowing that there was a possibility that it could be denied. I didn't want to go through all of it and then end up for it to be denied. So I had like, it was very anxious the last few days of trying to make sure everything was taken care of, sent into you. My PO knew about it. So thankfully I was able to get in front of you today.
Are you buying this house alone?
No, well it's gonna be under my name, but me and my partner are moving in together. I've been with him for a year and 8 months now. And if you wanna talk to him, he's in the other room. I asked him if he wanted to talk, and he said sure. So, but he would be living with me. It is being purchased through my credit, and the reason why is I've been trying to find a new place to live, but I have not had success in when we go and look at the apartment and then everything goes through. Either they haven't gotten back to us, or for some reason they deny it. There are a few of them that said because of the offense. So they say when you call them, you have to fill out the form, and then they run a background check, and then it gets denied when they do the background check. So I'm financially able to do it, and I want to. So I want to move on to the next part of my life, I guess. Instead of renting, I want to actually own a home and move on from renting.
How often are you seeing Pablo?
Once a week. On Tuesdays at 5. So the COVID put a damper in that, and I restarted it in June. I restarted seeing him in June. So I'm not sure exactly how many more assignments I have for it, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting to the very end of it. But that COVID put a damper in me going. That's been since 2019 I started, and then when the COVID hit in 2020, it put it on hold.
Were you living with your partner before?
You mean when I moved in here?
Yeah, on the main street?
No, so originally when I moved in here alone. I met my partner in January. I had to go in front or talk to my probation officer, who was Jeannie, and she approved the relationship. I think I want to say it was March. We started hanging out. I told him about my offense. He talked to Jeannie in March. Jeannie was aware of it. I recently got a new probation officer, I think 8 months ago now. But Jeannie was the one who approved the relationship. But to answer your question, no, he did not move in, or he was not originally part of me moving in when I moved in here. That happened 8 months after I moved.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board or comments? Does anyone want to make a motion?
I will move approval, address specific 445 Harton. Am I missing something?
Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Albert, you're approved to, proceed with the purchase of your home.
Thank you so much, guys. If you could send it to the Harvey Street address, just because everything doesn't go through until September 24th. So if you could just send it here so that I have it, that'd be great.
Sure.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yep,
You have a great day.
you too. Okay, does anyone have anything that they need to talk about? No?
I just wanted to, thank all of you for, providing more input, this meeting. We did have a request, for the basis for, a denial on one of our recent meetings. So the basis that we have, and we have to provide the minutes, and the minutes have to provide justification for why the board either denied or approved somebody. Typically, people don't contest approvals, but if you're planning on voting to deny somebody, it's really important that you put your rationale and the types of factors that you're looking at, and how those tie into either whether someone is remorseful, how they are or are not rehabilitated, and whether those factors lead you to believe that they may reoffend. Those are kind of the three things that the ordinance really looks at. So thank you for providing more robust input during this meeting, and please continue to do that as we go forward.
Okay.
I was gonna ask for the new members, do we like go too fast that you don't have time to ask questions, or?
Yeah, I feel like I do a lot of talking.
No, a lot of my questions actually get answered. So,
Okay.
All right. Okay, well then our next meeting is scheduled for September 15th at 2021 at 4 p.m. If we can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Well, we'll see you all next month then.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your week.
You too.